Will he finish with more goals and assists than Lionel Messi? Will he finish with more championships and accomplishments than Cristiano Ronaldo? At 21 years old, Kylian Mbappe is one of the league's most challenging enigmas, but many players are aware that he's going to be one of the best players that they've ever seen in a very, very long time. He's rejuvenated the French national team and made them competitors again, all doing this and he's barely a 20-year-old. Once again, it is May 30th. It's a Saturday here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims. And before I get into just how elite Kylian Mbappe is and how great he will be in the future, I'm just going to give you a little bit of context as to what we're looking at here. So, of course, he came up in the Monaco youth system, playing for the Monaco U19 team, and then he finally was promoted to Monaco in 2015-2016 when he was only 16 years old. And then from Monaco, he moved to PSG in 17-18 because he established himself as one of the league's best young players at the age of 18, finishing second in the league, or he was the second best player in the league in all of the league on. With his goals, his assists, his playmaking, and most importantly, his blazing speed. After that, he was signed by PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, the season right before the 2018 World Cup, and on PSG, he's been really doing his best, getting his hands and becoming a part of a good amount of the goals that were definitely scored there. And in the World Cup, he wasn't really the face of the team, but he was one of the main contributors of that team, where as people look back on this France team, he might be one of the most recognized faces on that team, even though the France team was very stacked compared to other teams in the World Cup in their forwards, their midwards, and their midfielders and their goalies. But I think when we look back 10, 20 years from now, we're going to look at it as the year that Kylian Mbappe helped France, or the year Kylian Mbappe won the World Cup at the age of 18, because I forget he was 18 at the time. At that point, he has established himself as one of the best young players. He won, at that year, he won the best young player in the World Cup, and he won that award. He made the FIFA first team. He's a four-time Ligue 1 champion. He's won as many French trophies as you really, really can. In the amount of time that he's really been in the French soccer league and really kind of dominated at the level that he has. Following the World Cup, he was eventually named the number 7. He became PSG's number 7. And if you're not aware of how soccer numbers work, number 7 is a very prestigious number to award someone in your organization, especially with Kylian Mbappe. They're making it known that he's going to be their young playmaker. They're a premier playmaker on that team, at least as long as he's there. Many people are unsure as to whether he's leaving. But even since the World Cup, he's been leading the Ligue 1s in goals, in the combined goals, assists, as well as PSG have basically bulldozed their way through the entire Ligue 1s. And another thing that many people don't give him credit for was when Neymar signed with PSG the summer that Mbappe got there. I guess Mbappe was supposed to be his number 2, at least learn under Neymar, until Kylian Mbappe became one of the league's most formidable players on his own. But at the end of the day, Kylian Mbappe ended up overtaking Neymar. He's now the face, and he is the main playmaker on this PSG attack, with Angel Di Maria at center attacking mid. You have Neymar, you have Mauro Icardi, who they recently just signed off of loan. I want to say yesterday. So that's kind of the situation that he's in right now. If we're looking at the French team, of course, he's going to be the striker for that French team for a very, very long time. And with PSG, as long as he's there right now, he has the team built around him to help him make as many plays and help PSG become one of the most high-potent offenses or attacking schemes and really out of all the teams in the world. So with that, just going into what makes Kylian Mbappe amazing. I mean, if you ever really get a chance to see Kylian Mbappe play, you see a lot of young Cristiano. You can see a lot of what Cristiano was looking like when he was young. He's very quick. He's very fast. I think in terms of sprint speed, he might be the fastest player. He might be one of the fastest players in all of soccer. That's why a lot of teams in the midfield, they'll pass the ball past the defensive line and expect Kylian Mbappe to run past all of them and do it. At the same time, while he's so fast, he's still pretty strong for how young and for how, yeah, just for how young he is and for how fast he is. He's incredibly strong. He's deceptively an amazing athlete. He's incredibly smart. He knows what to do. He knows how to play defenses. One of the things that he's aware of at this young age is what kind of an impact his ability has on the defense. He knows that even at 21 years old, just like seeing him on the field kind of strikes fear in the eyes of defenders, and he knows how to really use that. He definitely has the poise, the maturation, like he has the maturity level of an elite veteran, and I think that's why a lot of people are really drawn to him. If you ever get a chance to watch him, you should just see the passes that he makes. He makes very very smart passes. He can dribble out of almost any situation, and when you really count on him, he doesn't fade away from the opportunity very often as compared to a lot of other players who have received this hype at a very very young age and then just kind of really fell off. I guess that's one of the things that you don't really know about Mbappe is that he is only 21 years old. You don't know what the rest of his career could bring. But most of the people that do watch him they're very, very optimistic. If he does end up playing through the rest of his career, he stays injury free. Kylian Mbappe might be the most fun to watch soccer player in the entire world. So that's really where I'm coming from, my point in all this. And even kind of projecting as he goes forward, is of course like you can't really predict the future as to where a lot of these players are signing. I guess the only step up for him after PSG, because the only reason he wouldn't play in PSG is because the competition isn't strong enough. I mean, he's already from France, and he's already won he's already won the league title in the French league 4 times. So, I mean, there's not really much more that he can win on PSG, but at the same time, he could be the greatest player that franchise has ever had. He can end up just playing there his whole career. You never know. I mean, he's from Paris. He's from Paris. He's from Paris. So I mean, it's very very likely that he could stay there throughout his entire career. But others see it as he's only 21 years old. He's a player whose prime could rival Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi's. So many people feel as though he may have to go to the La Liga eventually, play for Barcelona, Real Madrid once he reaches his peak. But in between them, people aren't aware, or people aren't sure as to what he could do. He can go to the Bundesliga, play for Bayern Munich. He could go to the Premier League and play for Liverpool. I know a lot of Liverpool fans are really, really big on Mbappe coming to the Premier League. We never really know. On his way to playing at either Real Madrid or FC Barcelona, he could make a stop somewhere else and play there, but you never know. He has so many years ahead of him, and of course, every single year, because I will be doing this, I will cover him every single year. But at this very point, at 21 years old, he is the French league's best player. I would say he's better. He's a more complete all-around player mentally and physically compared to Neymar. As much as I really love and respect Neymar, I think that Kylian Mbappe is the centerpiece of that team, and if he goes down, so does the success of the team. But it's still PSG in the French league, so you never really know. And like I said, going forward, I guess because I don't really have a comparison, because I haven't really been watching soccer that long, I just think that just watching Kylian Mbappe, if I could compare him to just like, I guess he's a combination of Thierry Henry, especially with just like how smooth he was with the soccer ball. And I think he had the poise of Brazilian Ronaldo, who played in the early 2000s, who's gone down as one of the world's best soccer players to ever play. I think he combines with those two mentally, where he has the intellect and the poise, and he's so calm in clutch situations at such a very, very young age that you can't help but respect what he's done in his league with what he's had on the international stage and on the domestic stage, and even for the national team. So all I'm saying is, you ever get a chance to watch PSG, whether it be in the French league, if you want to watch them dominate opponents, if you want to see Kylian Mbappe make a lot of plays, because the French league isn't as strong now as other leagues, and Kylian Mbappe is blowing through them. Of course, if you ever want to watch international competition, Champions League is on roughly like clockwork every single year, but the quarantine's going on. But get a chance to watch Kylian Mbappe in the Champions League, because he, just like Haaland, is a beast, and you never know what kind of performances he can put up against some of the world's best defensive lines. And then, of course, like if you get a chance to watch him play for the French national team, considering he'll be only 22 at this next World Cup and he'll be 26 at the one after that, I can make a very solid argument that the last World Cup he played in will not be his best performance in a World Cup. So he has 3 World Cups, after 3 World Cups from now he'll be 30 years old and he'll still probably be in the height close, if not at the apex of his prime. So I kind of like doing the profiles on the young players because their potential is limitless based on what we've already seen, and we've seen a lot of all-time greats start off this well, and most all-time greats haven't even started as well as Kylian Mbappe and been as consistent and tried their hardest to stay out of injury as much as Kylian Mbappe. Even though Kylian's been hurt a lot, he's still been able to put up the production that he has. I can't wait to see him at PSG, at least finish out this season, see what he does in the summer. If he ever goes to the Premier League, of course, I'm going to follow him there. If he goes to Italy, Germany, even if he goes straight to La Liga at 21 years old or 22 years old, yeah, I'm still going to be really big on Kylian Mbappe. If you're trying to get into soccer and you're looking for a young player to watch so that if you start watching now, you can watch at least 10 years of prime soccer from the best player, I would urge you to watch Kylian Mbappe. I would give him the golden star, as in saying he is my favorite young player in soccer to watch. So I kind of give him my gold star in terms of that. But with that, there's really not much to say because he is very young. Like I said, he has a lot of his career ahead of him. I don't mean to repeat all of this, but just kind of just reinforcing the notion that if you do watch soccer, get a chance to watch Kylian Mbappe. He's the number 7 for PSG, and the last time I checked, he was number 10 on the French team, if he didn't change his number there already. But yes, with that, I'm going to sign off. If you took the time to actually listen to this, I really appreciate you. Enjoy this quarantine, make it through safe. And with that, I'm just going to say, peace.